Look at that suit.
It's cool.
Thanks. You too.
Cyclone, Smasher, now is your time.
Not me. I don't fly. I get big. That's what I do.
In your opinion, how does Black Adam sort of set itself apart from the rest of what we've seen so far in the DCEU?
Hell yeah. Well, first and foremost, we got The Rock, which is pretty substantial and pretty dope. Second of all, the tone of Black Adam is different. It's very dark, and there's definitely levity in it, but it's dark, man. There's a lot of dead bodies. There's a high body count in our film, and a lot of really excruciating ways to die, which I think also kind of sets it apart. But there's a anchoring point in our film, and it opens this conversation about not just right and wrong and what is good and what is bad and what's good for who specifically, but it opens this conversation about the movie takes place in Kahndaq, which is a country that is under occupation from a militant group. And as we all know, that's a very real world scenario. And so in this film, we broach subjects that many people can relate to, that I think maybe they wouldn't have been able to relate to before in what we've seen. I think it's an important movie. We've made this grandiose, entertaining, megalithic, massive, fun movie, but we've also rooted it in some very important conversation topics and real world scenarios. And so I think with that comes a responsibility for all of us in the filmmaking process. And I think that can come through as well. I think it does come through when you watch it. So there's a lot about this film that is different and has not been done before.
Noah, what did you know about Adam Smasher, and how did you get ready to play him?
Oh man, I knew practically nothing about him before the role, before it came down the pipeline. But then, you dive into the character. A lot of the comic books in Adam Smasher take place after this film would have occurred. And so I learned a lot about who he is in the comics, and then going back to kind of his genesis, right? His family, his uncle's a superhero, his grandfather was a villain, but that was a very precarious situation. So he comes from a bit of privilege. He comes from this nepotism with being a superhero. And so just, taking that and then using that to kind of inform how he handles being nervous or how he handles walking into a room with excitement. And all of that was just a part of building the character. And then, you show up and you're working with these incredibly talented individuals, and you just kind of throw it all away and see what comes up.
Now, I imagine you grew up watching superhero movies. I mean, were you thinking about you? But you've been acting for a long time as well. Were you thinking like all along, like, geez, I really would love to get involved in and try my hand at this?
I gotta be honest. No. Like, I never really considered it. I was, and so when the opportunity came, I was like, whoa, that's I was super excited for it. But you grow up pretending to have superpowers, running around your room in the backyard or at school or wherever, and to think that I was standing and I put on the suit for the first time. You put the hood on, and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm going, what the, this is insane. That was the moment that I kind of just went, okay, yeah, this is happening. It's very real. And yeah, mind blown.
This has been a passion project for Dwayne for years. I mean, he's talked about Black Adam. How did his passion for this character infuse the rest of the cast?
I mean, he exudes passion. And you can't help, there's this like process of osmosis where you can't help but feel it and kind of give it back, because you're right. He has been developing this project for over a decade. It's a very long time. And he's been patiently waiting to just pull trigger on it. And when you're sitting there, you can feel his excitement. You feel his connection to the story, the connection to Black Adam, and his connection to all the other characters as well. You can't help but learn from him as well. He's a guy that knows exactly what he wants, but he's also a guy that doesn't mind discussing how to get there and what the best way is to get there. So he's a great team builder, and he's great at working with teams, and I'd say like a master of gracious professionalism. So what was it like working with him and feeling that passion? I mean, he believes in you so much that even if you didn't believe in yourself, you're going to. That's what it's like to work with him.
Adam Smasher, he's such a scene stealer in this movie. Noah, where would you like to see him go next? I mean, I could picture him with almost any hero from the DCEU.
I mean, in the best case scenario of that question, it would be great to crowdsource the answer. Like I would love to know what everybody wants to see, and then maybe give them a version of that. That would be really cool for me. There's so many different ways that you can take the Justice Society and then Atom Smasher. It can get dark, and then it can get lighter. And I'm game for all of it. I really am. And I hope we do more, but it's up to everybody else.
Where are you keeping the action figure?
He's going to be in my bedroom, obviously.
I never said I was a hero.
Giving you respect, I expect the same thing.
You believe you are not worthy, but fate does not make mistakes.
I'm fighting for you. This is a war going on outside, we ain't safe from.